In this segment, we'll be showing you how to add a contact, be it member, non-member, individual, or business. Before you ever want to add a contact, you want to do a search first to make sure that contact is not in the database. In this case, I've come up with a couple of examples here. And let's say, for example, you've got two new members here. One is Fair Hope Find, and another one is Faith Church. So we want to do a search. And we can do a search on category keyword for a member or non-member, but I recommend doing a general search. General search just searches any part of a name, address, city, state, zip, phone, email, whatever, if it's in there. So let's go and just type in Faith Church and show results. Nothing. Faith Church is not in the database. Okay, so and you might want to try a couple of different ways just to make sure somebody didn't enter it differently. But in this case, we could just simply then say add contact member. In this case, we're going to add a member business, and we click continue. Now here, add new, not in database is the selection, not add current non-member. We're going to add new, and we're going to continue. And this is going to be the same for, in the application form opens up with the information that we'd like you to put in. Notice there's not 10 tabs here like on contact detail. This is the primary information we got to have. Notice that the contact type defaults to a business, and you can select type if you want. They have a join date which defaults to today. The anniversary date is a year from today, and that only comes into play when they're more than one payment a year. Next due, notice it says today. Do not advance this to 2022 if they're once a year, because at the end of adding this person, we're going to create the invoice and it will automatically change that to 2022. Now that doesn't mean you can't. Maybe some chambers like to bill the first of the month every month. You can change that to 7/1/2021 or 7/31/2021, whatever it may be, or maybe 1/1/2021 if you are one of those chambers that bills at the same time every year, because then it'll go to 1/1/2022. And notice at the bottom here you can prorate the invoice that is created if you do that type of thing. Basically, you go in, you enter the first and last primary name, title if you know it, business name, the physical address, city, state, zip, phone, cell, fax, toll free. And we do have a quick button here, set to physical, because most of the time the mailing address is the same as the physical, unless they have a P.O. box. And then, of course, billing, we go set to mailing, so you don't have to retype all that stuff over. Then we recommend at least, doing one category, okay? And if the category is not listed, we're going to finish this application, create the invoice or not, and then we're going to go and that'll be covered under the admin support section video where we discuss how you maintain categories. So then also, if you want any keywords, you put some keywords in. I would wait on the map URL. Let's see if the physical address finds the location once it's on the website, if you're using the directory. Then, of course, the business description. And then we can add additional contacts if we'd like, which, you can have unlimited contacts, with this business. Then their email. Don't upload the email if they don't want it on the website. Internet address. Dues. Account, it defaults to membership new. You set that up with the, looking at the video program setup. What is the default new member account? You have dues description, then you select how many times a year, how many employees if you want. Is it quantity based? You fill that information in if it applies, and then the dues amount. Then if they're opting for anything additional, you just check that. That will total everything up, and it will be down here at the bottom. Now you can prorate the membership dues, but you may have to edit this if you go back and add a picture or additional descriptions if you're charging something like that. But then when you're done, also there, notice this, if you haven't a one-time application fee. That will appear here, and you can exclude that. When we're finished, we just create invoice, and it'll be right in open closed invoice. It also gives you the option when you create the invoice to receive the payment right away if they've walked in and given you a check or a credit card. And then we just close in that case. That was just, showing you if it's not in the database. Now let's do a search again on the other member we wanted, which was, had Fair Hope in its name. And there is a Fair Hope find. That's exactly who we're looking at. They were a former member. So now if we want to add them, we just do add contact member, add member business, continue. But here we're going to add a current non-member. And we're going to go down here, and we're going to a Fair Hope find right here. Select them and continue. And boom, everything is loaded, and they were a former member. There was no internet address for them, but they were once a member. And now when I'm done here, I can, here, I'll show you here. I'll go ahead and create an invoice for this person, and I'm not going to prorate it. And now notice I can preview and print, or I can receive the payment. But in this case, I'll just do a preview print. There's my invoice. Now it's your chamber, and one thing about invoices, we put your logo right here. These are custom for our clients. We design the invoice the way you want it. Okay, so I just close there, and now there they are. It refreshes the member list, and a Fair Hope find is now in the member list. And then the rest of the add contacts is pretty much, add member individual would be the same as business. Add non-member business is like if you want to prospect. And if I click on that, notice it's just basic information, and you might want to say prospect, if you want to use the business type. And it just tells you the day they were entered, So that pretty much discusses how to add a member contact. All the 4 different types. Notice it does say add non-member individual. Note, if you want to add a contact to an existing business, cancel this action, find the business name, open the detail form, click the contacts tab, then click add contact from there. What they mean by that is I'm going to click cancel, and let's say, Affinity Home Medical. We'll open up the contact default for them and go to contacts. And we have a new contact there, so let's add the contact. And reminder, after adding the new contact, if the new contact is a new primary, edit the info in the general tab, because that says who the primary is. And just say okay to that. And let's say we're looking for John, common name. And I continue. Notice all the Johns in the database. So if they're in this list, you can select them and go. Now this John here tells you who they're currently affiliated with, but maybe John left that company and went to this company. This John Price, he's empty. So just let's add new contact not in list if we don't find the John we're looking for. Or I can select the add selected contact. Just that easy. If I want to add another one, and let's use another common name and continue. And I got some Pauls here. Now I don't see Paul Winters, so I'd want to add new contact not in list. Notice it defaults to all the business information, and I can just go Paul Winters. And if you know the title, or do they have any categories if you're doing that for individuals. But notice this is an individual. So I click close on that, and Paul Winters is added. Now notice this web order too. I can say John wants to be on there, but he's going to be number 2, and Paul's going to be number 3. Maybe they'll have different titles. But that's how you can add a non-member individual that's affiliated with a business. If you're going to add a non-member individual that's not affiliated with anybody, then you would use this one and just add non-member individual. That finishes adding contacts. Thanks for listening and watching.